Hi everyone, welcome to the Stork Stop. Today we're going to be talking about potty training. So I wanted to go over some basic tips, products that you'll need to get started, really the basics, what worked for us, and hopefully this will help you out. So the obvious first thing that you'll need is a potty chair. And I actually recommend starting with several of these. This is my favorite. This is the Baby Bjorn potty seat. And I'll just show you some quick things about it, why it's my favorite one. So first of all, I love how this just comes off all in one unit. You don't have to lift the lid to get this part out that you have to dump. It just lifts right out. And I also love that it has this high rise in the front. Okay, that's gonna block any kind of spray or anything, especially if you have a little boy. This is essential. And I just love how tall this one is. A lot of them are, shorter. So this is also a really stable seat. I've tried a couple of other seats when I was first starting and they were a little wobbly, she had to sit on it just right. But this one is really sturdy. So it is a little more expensive. I think this was close to between $25 and $30. I got this at Target. It's a great seat though. They also have obviously less expensive ones. I think I had a couple that were $11 and those were great. I recommend having several chairs around the home. I had one in our living room and one in the playroom, also one in our bathroom when we first started. And obviously as they get the hang of it more and more, you will just go down to having one chair. So you don't want to spend a ton of money. I mean, you don't want to get 3 or 4 of these unless you can really afford it. But I think this brand for the main bathroom in your home, is worth the investment. So you want to start with a potty seat. And also, let's see, other essentials. So the way we did it, I just decided we were just going to dive right into potty training, and we just used cloth trainers. So just the Gerber brand, I got them at Target. You can also get them at Walmart, pretty much anywhere. The Gerber brand training underwear. They don't hold a ton. Honestly, they hold less than even a full pee, but they do the job if you're just going to be around the house. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so it wasn't an issue for us. We just did that around the house. And also another great brand I did try were the Hannah Anderson training underwear. And if you can afford those are even better than the Gerbers. They hold more. I would say they contain a full pee without it going all over the floor or all over the place. Those really worked great for us as well. But the Gerbers do get the job done if you're just looking for the most inexpensive way to get started. Another thing I recommend are cloth pull-ups or training pants. These are waterproof, and I got about 6 pair of these, and I used these for when we went outside the home. I decided not to use regular pull-ups because they felt more like a diaper. The child doesn't feel the wetness, and I really wanted her to feel wet. I wanted her to know when she had an accident so that we could deal with it, that she was getting the hang of the sensation of being wet. So I wanted to use cloth as much as possible. We weren't perfect. I did buy some disposables to have on hand if I hadn't done laundry in time or we ran out, that sort of thing. But in general, I tried to stick with cloth and it really worked well. This was my favorite brand. This is the MZ Vimzy or Ems Vims. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But I love these. I even tried more expensive ones. I think these are $12 to $15 a pair, and I know that sounds expensive, but like I said, we only bought 6 and we just kept washing. I did try a couple of other brands. I tried Super Undies and Antsy Pants and just wasn't a huge fan of either. I don't know why, really. I don't know, my kids have, or my daughter at the time had really sensitive skin, and I just felt like there was something about the Super Undies. If she was in it too long or anything like that, she would get a rash. It was really strange. So I was glad I tried the MZ Vimzy. They worked out great. They really contain a full pee without leaking or getting her clothes wet or anything like that. These were just perfect for going to town. So I would highly recommend some sort of cloth trainers as well. And another huge product that I recommend is Bac-out. This is an enzyme, kind of like a stain remover, and it actually eats away, because it's live cultures and enzymes, it eats away the bad bacteria, that comes out. So if you you're going to have accidents around your home. You know, when you're first starting, your child is going to have accidents on your furniture, on your carpet, unfortunately, and you need a good cleaner to get that as clean as possible, and I found that this stuff is the best. So this is our downstairs bathroom. This is where we have everything for potty training set up. This is the main bathroom in our house. It's our downstairs half bath. It's off of our living room, and this gets the most traffic. This is the most used bathroom in our home. And you know, I would prefer if all the potty training stuff wasn't in here, but unfortunately when you're potty training, that is the #1 goal. So it doesn't matter what it looks like or how convenient it is for everyone else. It's got to be easy for the child. So I'll show you quickly how we have it set up. And there's a couple more products in here that I found really helpful, so I'll share those as well. So again, the small potty chair. This is just a freestanding paper towel holder, just really inexpensive. I got this at Walmart. I tried to get the cheapest one I could find that would still look nice, and I just keep her toilet paper on here so that it's easy for her to get to, because the end goal is for her to take herself to the potty, wipe herself, and wash her hands. So we're trying to make that as easy as possible for her. And the next product that I'll tell you about was kind of an unexpected surprise for me. We eat cloth diaper, and so I had a diaper sprayer installed, and I didn't even think about how easy that was going to make potty training, because instead of having to take the potty to the sink to rinse it and dump it back in the potty, the diaper sprayer just allows me to spray it out right here. So it's so easy. I would highly recommend it. Even if you don't cloth diaper, diaper sprayers are really inexpensive. They're easy to install, and it might just save you for potty training, because potty training is kind of a long process. So I would recommend that. And again, it's just attached to our toilet here. And you can get it off Amazon. You can get them a lot of places. But yeah, Amazon is where I got this one, and it's just great. It's like a hand spray, so just sprays directly in the toilet. And the last product that I'll tell you about, I wanted to have her hand towel easily accessible for her, because when I first started, I was taking my hand towel, bringing it down, letting her dry her hands, putting it back, and I was like, you know, there has to be an easier way to do this. So I just bought at Target again a freestanding, this is a toilet paper dispenser. And I thought it was the perfect height for her, and I just keep her hand towel right there. Again, you will need a step stool as well for her or for your child, so that they can just step up, wash their own hands, dry their hands. And again, they're learning the process. It takes a while. When we first started training her, she was 26 months, and you know, she wasn't big enough at that time to do all of this on her own, but we were teaching her along the way, and as she got taller and able to reach things, she became more and more independent. And so now she'll tell us, don't come in, I'm doing it myself, you know. So we still check and make sure she's washed her hands and things like that, but it makes it so much easier when everything's accessible for them and they really can do it on their own. So yeah, I'm trying to think, are there any more? Those are my main tips. Okay, I definitely would recommend a small potty. I didn't really touch on this enough before, but I know they make the seats that you can put on top of your potty, and you know, I'm sure that works too, but I just really think it's important for the child to be able to do every step on their own, because they just get so excited, they're so happy they can do it, and it motivates them to want to do it. So I know you don't want it to where you have to lift the child onto the big potty all the time. You know, in my opinion, I like this system much better. Now, if she does have to have a big potty, I do that on our toilet, because you know, dumping the small potty with, you know, a poo is not a pleasant experience. So now that she's older and she can tell me when she needs to go, we go, you know, #2 on the big potty. So yeah, those are my recommendations. I really hope it helps you out as you're getting started, and good luck with potty training. Thanks, guys.